Well, I don't even know if you watch TV. I don't think you actually watch TV. But a lot of times on TV shows they say previously on Blossom or whatever the TV show is, and then
Awesome.
and then
Oh my God. Welcome to the 80s.
previously previously on Saved by the Bell. Um, what the last time we talked, it was right before the season, and I don't even know what we said. I
When
don't even
hopes were high.
I
When
hope so.
hopes were high.
And
Oh,
now 2 weeks in, hopes are low, and we're in panic mode. They are 2-4,
yeah. Looking.
and probably about to be 2-5 because Colorado is coming to town.
Yeah, but there have been times where we show up like that they have won against a team. When they lost to Detroit, everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's Detroit." But you know what? I watched Detroit play last night, and they're not bad. They're actually pretty half okay.
We did talk about this, that Detroit is one of those up and coming teams that are probably going to like knock the old teams out, like
They're doing
Detroit,
pretty good.
Ottawa. I'm not sure who else, but so yeah, it's not surprising. I mean, Detroit's had like a rebuild for like 10 years now. It's about time
Yeah,
they actually
about
get
time.
good. So yeah, but I think that's the problem with the Penguins. I think that's the problem is they used to get by on, we got Sid, we got Gino, we got Letang, we got the talent.
And we usually had, our goalie's usually not half bad. Now
Right.
you're gonna, I know you're gonna rip on Jari. It wasn't even Jari yesterday, which was sad. But
I blame Jari anyway for last night, even though he didn't play.
what, what,
I think he probably maybe messed with the goalie like in between periods or something like
I
that.
think I think the problem with the goalie yesterday was rookie mistakes, like being caught so
Okay.
far out.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like, what was that? And I don't, you
he
didn't catch
played
it, did you?
okay, except for the one time. I think he just went for like a donut or something like that, because they do have Dunkin' Donuts in the arena. Maybe he just like, what, I'm hungry for a donut. And he just like, I was like, oh yeah, wait, there's a game going on.
He
Oops.
he literally went out to try to cut that thing off, went and slid, didn't get the puck. He knocked it back out, but they got it, and he was so far out, he turns to run, and there's so many people in his way he couldn't get there. Yeah,
It was
whatever.
silliness. It was so, but at that point, it didn't matter. Now, the Stars are a
Good.
darn good team. You could
They're
even
4 and
say
0.
they're you could even say that they're, I mean, I think they were my picks to win the cup. I think they are super good. So the Penguins losing to a really good team, it's not the end of the world. And basically after the game, Sullivan said, hey, he basically said, at least we tried, which is better
I'm
than they
pretty
did against
sure
St. Louis.
while I watched the game, like we scored first, I believe. And then I think they were like, Sullivan challenged these guys. And I was like, at the end, I'm like, ugh, what did he challenge them to do? Because they did nothing. They're not clicking at all. Like, and here's the deal: the two times they won, and it was a good, decent game. They looked cohesive. They looked like clicking everything. 4 losses. I know it's early. I know that this is what, like 8 points we didn't get at the end of the day that might determine seventh or eighth place, but man, they are not looking good at all. At all.
I don't buy this. Oh my goodness, they're 2-4. If they go 2-5, it's the end of the world. People, it's an 82
No.
game schedule. Do you go on a five? They could go on like a 7 game winning streak, and forget about all that. So I think they'll make the playoffs, but
I think
barely.
something needs to change though. I think they need to try a different. I mean, unfortunately, Ludwig, what's his name? Homeboy, he first NHL game, he got knocked out. He was dead on that ice.
That was extremely scary.
And literally, they say, hey, Ludwig in his first NHL game, and he comes out, he gets that hit, and he took that dude. So from far away, it didn't look, I told you, it didn't look like they even hit heads because it was like the wide shot. When they came back, which I was surprised they showed it, head, like it hit him right in the cheek. And when he was laying there, I go, oh, he is out. He was
He
sleeping.
was knocked out
Oh,
before he hit the ice,
oh yeah.
which
You
is
could tell how he
real
crumpled.
scary. I know you're like, 18 years old or whatever, but back us old people remember in Kevin Stevens in the 93 playoffs against the Islanders when the same exact thing happened. He got into a hit and he was knocked out before he hit the ice, and his head just went face first into the ice and it smashed his face. And the only thing that saved Ludwig was
His arm.
he landed on, yeah, he landed on his arm and his glove,
Hey, it
which
looked like he just stretched out for a nap mid shift, thankfully, because like if his head would have hit that ice, I mean, thankfully they have most of them, if not everyone, has the shield now. So it would have kind of cushioned it a bit.
yeah,
And our helmets are a lot better than they were 30 years ago. But still, like, thank God he landed his head on his arm
very
like it was
scary,
nap time.
very scary. And he did something that might be against team policy. He actually tried to hit someone. He actually was physical.
Oh, they were
What do
like,
you
he
do?
went in there and he saw. The thing was, is he read the play and he read it well. And the like play by play commentaries going on about it. And they were like, he just jumped into that. He saw how they were coming in and he went in hard. And they said, basically, if I'm paraphrasing, if I'm remembering, they basically said he took all of that hit and he went through like a missile, man. It was pretty good. It was a good hit. I mean, unfortunately, he got hit in the face with the helmet.
But
Happens.
I mean, that is one of the problems with this team is
And Will
nobody's
Butcher is the other
physical.
problem. That poor guy has been out for undisclosed mystery illness since July when we signed him. They put that up there.
Really?
I texted that to you, and you were like, "Who? What is this?" And I go, exactly. We signed him like July the 3rd or something. They're like, he's been out with an undisclosed injury since July, dude. I don't think I've ever seen him play.
Yeah, how about we disclose that? How about because now we have to guess.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Uh
And
he
did he have this injury when we signed him?
he uh he was on the space station and he
With his
is
country.
complaining of stomach trouble, which means that he has an alien baby inside of him, and that
God,
is
it's
the
gonna put him
undisclosed.
on the ice. I want to say it burst through his chest right mid game.
Well, no,
It'll
you
probably
can't.
keep the puck. Listen, it'll burst out of his chest and to stop the puck before someone else gets a
See,
goal.
that's bad because then they'll get penalized for too many men on the ice. But
Well, is
wait
it
a
a
minute,
man though?
it's
First
not.
off,
Yeah, it's not a
relax.
man if it's an alien. So really, you'd
It
be
was
on the power.
mid shift. It was mid change. The alien bursts from his chest and stops the puck.
Somebody hop off the ice. We have an alien coming out. It's going to play left wing. Oh god.
Probably better. Like I guess I read. I don't read a lot of articles and stuff and them talking. I try not to, but I catch like a snippet. It might have been a tweet. They're like, at least Dubas understands that the bottom six are trash, and I'm like, oh god, here we go.
If only Dubas can do something about that, or if only he, had any part in constructing that bottom six. Oh wait, he
I
did.
mean, to be fair, I just feel like it's just not it's a clicking issue. I mean, he did get rid of almost everyone Hextall ever looked at.
That's a baller move right there. Like
That's I don't know, because here's the thing. I don't know. First off, the one dude I don't even remember who it was, but Friedman, I don't remember Friedman playing that much. I
not
don't
much.
remember him being absolutely terrible, so that must mean something. I just feel like going in and taking out everybody is just because you're gonna swing your power around and not like actually just worry about the work. Don't worry about who's just
Well,
if you're
no,
good,
no. I
it's
mean,
great.
but it's not like he got rid of a bunch of good guys just to bring in quote unquote his guys. He replaced a bunch of crap with
But
what appears to be also a bunch of crap. Now,
it's still early. I'm not gonna say that they're all crap, because here's the thing. I feel like we are jumping the gun on this. And I'm willing to sit back and look, but so yesterday, that frozen frenzy, and I'm not trying to like change the subject, but my lord, did I love that day.
oh my
I
god, it was
would
awesome.
I wish they would do it every few months. It was great. I
I
love
wish
them
they
2
would
in the
do it every
morning. I
day.
mean, I would totally be into it, but you're gonna lose revenue and stuff doing that. If they do it twice a year, like once in the beginning, once towards the end. Oh my gosh, they do that right before playoffs. I'm in because I was already in starting with the Leafs versus the Capitals. And like, I saw the goal and then they called it goalie interference and they called it back. And I was like, oof. And then the Maple Leafs won because they're Stanley Cup champions. Um, it's like that was the funnest thing I've ever seen. Like, I loved it. It was great. And but I had more fun watching every other team
Yeah.
than the
Yeah.
Penguins.
You watch the exciting parts of every game,
Yeah.
and it just goes from game to game to game. It's amazing.
Like, it even because I know if you watched it on ESPN2, I believe, it would be like, okay, we're cutting to like Flyers, whoever. Golden Knights were and the Flyers were last game, but I watched the whole thing. But like they would be like watching Maple Leafs and or Montreal and New Jersey, and they would cut to the Kraken versus Detroit. Like, okay, look, and then they would show a goal, and then you'd go back to this. That was fun, but like just watching, even though I was like on my phone, like and doing other stuff, those other games were like almost every game was close. It wasn't a 4-1 blowout. It
Right.
wasn't like torture. And I don't know if it's because it's the Penguins and I'm like, oh, I'm really invested versus I don't care if I just didn't want. Well, I'm sorry. I might have been more invested in the Vegas versus the Flyers because I wanted Philly to lose everything they could lose yesterday. And thankfully they did. The Phillies are out. The Flyers lost. I was happy in overtime by the or no, it didn't even go to
Oh,
overtime on
you
that.
know what? It is a wonderful thing when a Philadelphia team makes it all the way to almost a championship game and then misses out. That's even better than having a bad season.
You know, I just honestly, I kind of haven't seen well, baseball talk real quick, but the teams that lost the most games last year were the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, and look who's in the World Series this year. So either they went through what? What are you
I was
doing?
gonna say, don't get any ideas, I mean, Pirates fans, because that's never gonna happen in
Oh
Pittsburgh
god,
because
no,
the
because you
owner
know
is a
what they
piece of
did? They
crap.
went and they retold their team. Maybe a little bit here and there, maybe re-signed some big players and stuff. Yeah, I doubt that the Pirates are going to all of a sudden be like, we're gonna win the World Series next year. But that was pretty neat to go from like winning 0. Like I think their losses was like 104 and 110.
That's
And
amazing. That's really
it was
cool.
like,
Yeah.
oh look, now you're in the World Series.
Yeah.
And I just don't like Philadelphia.
That's really cool. And that's yeah, it would be nice. I don't know. I don't know. I used to be a baseball fan, and now the Pirates ruined my love.
I'm
But
gonna tell you something. You can actually root for other teams. I
no,
promise you that.
what?
Yeah, I know. It's
I'd
crazy because
root.
I really
I'd
like.
I'd I'd root for the Cleveland baseball team, but they change their name every 5 minutes.
Well,
So
I mean,
so whatever. Yeah, Cleveland's a fun place to go see a baseball game. That's fun.
I wouldn't root
But
for Cleveland, but okay,
it's
they're right
it's
there.
not it's yeah, not the Browns. The Browns are
Well,
disgusting. But
I mean, yeah, but then you got Columbus right there too. I can't go with anything in Ohio. I'll go to
the
Texas. I was like
the
literally like I wanted the Astros to win, but I was like I don't care if the Rangers win.
the entire state of Ohio is garbage. However, they have a really good sandwich place called Melt in
No,
Cleveland.
I've been there.
It's really good. It's
Yeah,
I think it's one of the best sandwich places in the
yeah,
country.
yeah, yeah. I've been to one.
Yeah, that's the only good thing about Cleveland. The only good thing about Ohio.
Wow.
There's occasionally good pizza in Youngstown. That's it. That's it. Everything else about
Do they
Ohio
melt
is
their cheese on their pizza?
you're from Altoona. You have no right to talk about
Oh,
pizza.
don't you start. Don't you even
Melted
bring up our
American cheese on a
plastic.
pizza. What is that?
Yeah, because we're poor. That's what I say it is. I was like, this is poor
See,
railroader food.
people people say that the cold cheese on the pizza thing is a Pittsburgh thing. No, it's basically just an Ohio Valley thing. They do it in West Virginia. They do it
Yeah,
in
I caught it in West
Ohio.
Virginia. It was gross. I was like, literally. So the first time I ever went to a Nailers game, or it might not even the first time. It was the first time I went with a friend of mine. Well, I was like, well, let's get pizza before the game. We go in this place, and I was like, yeah, man, 2 cuts, cool. And then I watched it, and I took a picture. I'm like, what is this?
They
Who
put
does
cold
this?
cheese on it.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh my
realize that it was
God.
like,
No. That's
listen,
that
say what
that
you want,
that should be against the law.
say what you want about Altoona Hotel style pizza, which for people who don't know is like a Sicilian cut with like a kiss of marinara. It needs more. Some old cheap salami, a sliver of green bell pepper. I don't know why. And basically American cheese on top. And it is so bad, but I am the championship eater of it. At least
You
the
are
cheese is
you're a
nuggets.
championship pizza eater, championship watermelon eater.
Yes, I did
Oh,
lose a pumpkin pie eating contest the other day though.
you're yeah, you're
I don't
yeah,
eat pie. Ugh,
you're a champion. You're but
I'm
anyway,
glad.
I still love football, and I love on Sundays NFL Red Zone, and it's the
Yeah.
coolest thing ever because it basically just takes you to the good part of every game. And it's so cool. Now, obviously, you can't do the good part of every hockey game because it happens so fast, but still, you could do replays of what
Well,
just happened.
that's kind of what they did
So
when
that's
the
what they
Frozen
did.
Frenzy came up. They really kind of like, okay, if it looked like it was like, oh, there's a minute left, they would throw that one on like and show you the end. But if it was like, hey, like so and so just scored, they'd cut to it so you could see the goal. It was fun. It was a little crazy. I feel like they should do it. I feel like when it's down to like playoff time, if
Here's
they
what I
did
think they should do. Obviously, you can't always do it on a Tuesday night when three teams are playing or something like that. But almost every team plays on a Saturday night. You do that every week. You do that every week on a Saturday. You just have one show dedicated to the good parts of every hockey game. You're good.
Oh, I'm in. I
Yeah.
would sit there and not like do anything. I loved it. From 6 to 2 in the morning, I had hockey. It was like the best part of COVID when they were playing in the bubble, and like I would be working at like 2 in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, Montreal and the Penguins are playing. Yep. Move mouse, not working.
But
Well, it
anyway,
doesn't matter. They don't care.
back to the Penguins. I'm happy they kept Crosby, Malkin, and Letang, and it's really cool that they got Eric Carlson. But this team ain't it.
The
Something
good
gotta change.
See, the good news is as soon as we start dogging on them, like as soon as I start dogging on Letang or whatever, he goes out and he'll score and they'll win.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So I mean, if this is what it takes, if it's me yelling at the universe that they're crappy right now and that makes them win, I will do it. They're still my team.
But the
But
thing is, and like I put out a tweet last night that said you got to fire Sullivan, and and I also said that's never going to happen. He has like 5 years left on the contract, and they're guaranteed they're not going to get rid of him. But what they do need to do is change something. They need to change their system. They can't be that speed track team anymore because
there's no speed
there's no speed. They're all
because
old.
everybody's as old as we are.
No,
Um,
the Penguins are the oldest team in the NHL. Their average age is 30.8 years.
mhm, which dropped a little bit because it was higher than that.
They got younger.
They got a little younger.
Oh,
The,
God.
okay, I know the chemistry's gone, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know what it is, but in the past, like, if you look at 16, 17, and now, or even last year, I mean, because that was a full season. Obviously, you had more speed earlier when in the cup years, but it's like somebody could read the ice and read the team and say, okay, you know what we have to do? We have to change this. And they would go and approach it a different way. It is like an old man stuck in his ways. He's like, I am, and I refuse to change stuff regardless. And it's not working. And there's no chemistry with these guys. And I don't know if it's because it's still early. I don't know, if they're still trying to find themselves. It's like, I just
It's still
do
early.
something.
And yes, you basically changed half the team. So yes,
Yeah.
there's going to be a feeling out, and they got to they're still getting to know each other, and it's only been 6 games. Okay. But the thing I hate about Sullivan the most is his stubbornness and his absolute he just won't refuses to play anyone young. There's a reason this team is so old, is because he wants old people. He
Well, I
doesn't.
mean, you have experience there. I'll give him this, but like, I'm not going to throw a rookie on and take Crosby off. You know
No,
what
I'm going to
I'm saying?
throw a
Like,
rookie on and take Noel Achari off, or Nieto, or one of these bums, or
bums, relax. It's 6 games. Hey, Akari helped Ludwig off the ice, man. He picked him up.
That's very nice.
I watched that. I was like, I wonder who's hauling him up off the ice. Oh, okay, it's him. Well, at least he has a good job. Um, I noticed the dumbest thing, but like, I get it. It's early. You know, they usually do start slow, except for like last year when they start. I guess we should be happy because every time they usually start a little iffy in the beginning, and we're usually by this point going, "Oh, they suck. They're terrible. This is the end. Oh my god!" And then like all of a sudden they hit it, and they'll win like 4 or 5 straight, maybe lose one, and then it's another 4 or 5 straight, and then January comes and they start to be bums again, and then it's like, "Oh god." It's almost the playoffs. We better hurry up and win some games. And then they do it, and then they sneak into the playoffs or whatever. But like, I get that it's early. I know that we're jumping the gun, but I will state that I don't like the way Sullivan has coached for the past few years. I feel like he needs to recognize that he has it's aging and recognize that you have to like change it up a little bit. There has to be like there has to be some sort of combination of coaching that you can do where when the young guys are out, maybe you have a bit of speed and you can still, do all that. When the older guys are out, maybe not. Or if you see someone like New Jersey, they're going to get crushed by New Jersey. If what they had yesterday was the best at this point, you play New Jersey, New Jersey's crushing you. They're going to run circles around you. Or
Um,
even, well, you watch Detroit run circles around you.
they're going to get crushed by any young team that's fast.
Yeah.
So you better hope you play like Washington or I don't know who. I don't know if Calgary's any fast. I'm guessing they're not. But any team that relies on being tough or big or something like that, the Penguins would be okay with them. But anybody that has anything resembling speed, forget about it.
So basically, anybody who is on the cusp of a rebuild, they
Carolina is
is
really good and fast.
oh
Um,
yeah, but I don't think like any team that's on the cusp of a rebuild, like the Capitals, who got crushed by the Leafs yesterday,
the Capitals are in worse condition than the Penguins.
because they are on the cusp of a rebuild. Because you got your aging star, who is on his way, to the retirement home. Not to be a jerk about it, like it is what it is. Homeboy is getting old. I get it, man. I'm there too. I'm just not as good looking. He is on his way out, and you don't
Who
have.
Ovechkin?
Yeah, he's like 37,
He's
38.
good looking because he's 37 and he looks 67. That is an
He does
old
have a lot of
looking
gray hair. Well, when you have to
dude.
carry the whole team, and
Yeah, that's true.
first off, if you have to carry the whole anywhere you get to live near Washington D.C., my hair would be as gray as his as well. But like he's carrying that team, he is the star. I mean, you can say Wilson, but nobody here is gonna like him, and I get that. But like, who's even their goalie? Oh, it's we had this discussion. I can see him. Never
No,
mind.
Washington's in worse condition than the Penguins. They're
Oh,
not.
what
They're
they do? Only
definitely
won
not
one
making the
game.
playoffs. They're definitely not making the playoffs. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like even if you make the playoffs, you just got to get lucky. What they need is a goalie that would like stand on his head, and that's not happening. I mean, it's just they don't feel like playing defense, and they
That's the
don't
problem.
that is a problem. I mean, and you know what? That's cool. We're just here. We're just here for vibes. We're just here for fun, and that's okay.
The
I
vibes
would
are
go.
up,
I
man.
would love. I can't wait. I would love. I hope I get to go to a Penguins game this year. And when I go, I'm gonna say, "Oh man, this team's awesome," and they're gonna do something. It's like, no, I want to see Crosby and Malkin and Carlson and Latang and yeah,
And
yay! And
you went way too much.
you know what? I'm really excited to see the new scoreboard. That's what I'm
I've already
excited.
seen it. It wasn't
Is
lit
it
up,
big?
but
Is it
yeah, it was pretty big.
I'm excited. I'm excited about the scoreboard.
Like,
That's where we're at. We're almost in Pirates territory here. It's like, ooh, it's a nice park. It's a pretty park. It's
oh
nice to
look,
go to.
fireworks afterwards. This is great. No,
Fireworks.
so yesterday was really down because I had a shot at a free ticket, and I was supposed to have a date, and the dude and boy,
Wait, you
boy
didn't even go on the
disappeared.
date?
No. He said, okay, so like the date, I was like, hey man, like you pick where we go. It's no big deal. Whatever. I'm down for anything. And he was like, then he just never replies. And then suddenly is sick the next
So
day.
not only do you not go to a Penguin game, you don't even go on the dates.
Yeah.
Oh
So
man,
I sat at home watching hockey. Then I was like, whatever, hockey's on all night. It's better than this guy would be anyway.
Um, so yeah, after the Avalanche, what else do they have? It's not this could get scary.
I
I
mean,
don't
like
know.
you're hitting some hard. You got Senators. Oh,
Ooh,
Senators.
Ottawa's coming.
Ducks are
Okay,
coming
Anaheim.
on Monday.
They'll beat Anaheim. They'll beat San Jose. And then they play
No,
Anaheim
see, you gotta
again.
hope they beat San Jose. That's what's sad.
No,
I
no,
know.
they're
Listen, I'm not putting anything past them.
I guarantee the Penguins are beating San Jose. Yeah, I don't know about Anaheim because I've seen them almost losing Anaheim last year, and Anaheim sucked last year. But I guarantee they'll lose to San Jose. I mean, they'll beat San Jose, and then they go on a West Coast trip, and those are
Those are
always
like
fun.
Ducks and the Sharks, and then
No, it's Ducks and the Kings.
oh no, it's the Sharks too. They hit the Sharks on.
You're right.
I
They
know
hit
what
the
you're
shot.
saying.
Yeah, they
That's
do
an
the
away
San.
game.
At,
That's one thing that could hurt them too. Is they have 4 days off before having to head over there. That's fine. Then they got the Ducks. Then they have the Kings. Ooh, the Kings.
Kings are good.
And then the next day they're the Sabres. Like it's like, oh, I guess it's the ninth. My I have it in my calendar, so it like buckles across the 2 days because of it being like so late. But yeah, then there's Sabres, and
One
then
thing I don't understand is that people when they criticize the bottom six, they say, "Well, they don't score." Who cares? We don't
as long
want
as
you
it's
to
not getting scored
score.
on.
Yeah, just don't suck. Don't suck. Rely on that. You got two top. Your top six are good. Rely on them to score. I don't want. I mean, Drew O'Connor. We're going to be saying Drew O'Connor is young and has potential for the next 20 years, and it's never going to happen. Dude, do something. Come on. I'm tired.
Is he really
Like
young?
like
He's in
we're
his
not
20s.
expecting anything from Matthew Nieto or Achari or
I
Lars
was
Eller.
hoping for the world for Achari. I mean, I hope he
Um,
just shows you up at this point.
there you go. There you go. Noel Achari hat trick. The nicest thing we said about him is he helped the dude off the ice.
He did a really fine job of that. No, you make he really stepped up. Not how I meant it, but that's the only time I got to see.
So we'll
Oh
see.
my.
We'll see.
It's
I
early.
just
Relax.
my biggest complaint about Sullivan is he came in in 2016 and he's like, okay, we're gonna change everything.
Hmm.
We're bringing in these kids. We have an infusion of youth
Oh,
and
he had his favorites down in Wilkes-Barre,
yeah,
and that's who then he started to rely on them year after year because in the beginning, hey, yeah, that worked. They came up, they really like rocked it, Sid and the kids for 2 whole years. Everything was wonderful. You know, the birds were shining, the sun was shining, the birds were singing. I know, angels came down from above.
yeah.
But guess what, bud? You need to
He's
stop just playing your favorites because it's
That's
not
it.
always going to work.
He didn't say, "Oh, this is a new coach with new ideas and new players." No, it's a coach with his ideas and his players, and he'll rock with Brian Rust until he dies.
Well,
And
Ryan Rust is actually a breath of fresh air. I think he was the one who scored yesterday.
he did score, but
He's the one that's like he still grinds it, man. He's still trying his hardest.
we'll
I
see.
can't
We'll
fault
see.
Russ.
We'll see what happens.
McCann fucking scored yesterday. Like for the Kraken.
Yeah,
I watched all that stuff. He was out there and like was it overtime or towards the end or something? He was out there longer than anyone else. And they're like, he hasn't gotten a break and he's been on the ice. It's like,
the Penguins gave
um,
McCann chances and it didn't work. And that's the thing is like why is he awesome on another team?
probably
And
because he clicks over that. There's just something that I think he does grind a little bit more, not here. Like I feel like he's actually working a little harder. But I didn't hate him when he was here.
he had his chances. He had his chances here and it just didn't work. But then he goes somewhere else and it's awesome. Really, like Marino. That's another one that's I don't know what the heck happened there, but
I heard Dumoulin's name the other day too.
oh God. Oh
He
God.
wasn't doing too bad. He was doing better than he's ever done in the past 3 years. Um,
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Dumoulin was a was like the worst player ever for this team in this system, because this system requires you to be like super speedy.
Yeah, yeah.
How about changing the system so that somebody like a Dumoulin isn't? You don't need to be, don't need to go on a track meet and do
Okay, but like, okay,
globetrotters.
and I understand. Okay, I can give that to you if at the time everybody else needed like to change because it needs to change and it does need to change. But if it's just him being the problem and everyone else is keeping up with it, he's the
Right.
problem.
Right.
I'm not going to change one
Well,
thing because of him.
when Dumoulin was here, his job was basically, hey, your partner's Letang who doesn't play defense. Your
Stay
the
back.
whoever the forwards are, they don't play defense. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to score, and if we don't score, it's you and the goalie against four other people. So good
Godspeed.
luck with that.
Stay back, don't cross center line. Just stay there because
Yeah.
that puck's coming back for you. And then anytime that like Malkin would have to like play defense, he would get frustrated and get a penalty.
Yeah, right. Like Malcolm's like, screw this, I'm just gonna whack you on the head.
Yeah, he takes dumb penalties, but that
So
being,
is there hope? Is there
oh
hope? Is
yeah,
it to
I mean, like I
conclude?
said, they started slow. This is actually probably the best sign we could have.
Oh
They didn't
boy.
what didn't they win like 6 or 7 games? It was 6 or 7 games in a row last year
You
because it
know
was
it,
right in the beginning.
right now Boston is 6-0.
Mm.
Colorado is 6-0.
I hope
Um
Boston blows
Dow
up like they did last year.
I I mean they were supposed to suck because they lost people, and then they're still awesome. Vegas is 7-0. Dallas is 4-0 in one. Um it's because it's sometimes you got this hot start, so people think you're awesome.
Mm.
But if you win six in a row in December, nobody really cares, or it's not that big of a deal. It's because it's the start of the season. It's the first impression thing.
I don't know who Boston has played because I don't follow them, but I know Colorado has had to fight for some of those wins.
Oh yeah.
I've watched some of their games because they're on later, so I get to catch them at like the second half of the night. They had to fight for some of that. Like yesterday, it was a little grindy. I like it because I like the Avs, so it is what it is. But yeah, I feel like they have a good team. It was 7-4, the 7-4 Avalanche versus the Islanders. Now that score sounds like they did really well, but it was like 3-3, and then the Islanders came up or something, and then they had to like grind it. And I think they had like 2 empty netters or something at the end, is why they had
So
such a
so
great.
people are panicking about the Penguins,
Yeah.
and they have this undefeated team coming into town right now.
That's a good
Are they
team.
winning or are they losing against the Avalanche? I say a win. I say they're just going to be so angry they're going to get a win.
Hold on a second. Let me look something up. Can I take a second?
Sure, go for it. Because I've
Can't
seen this
spell
before.
Colorado.
I've seen this. I think they beat Colorado last year when we
They
were saying the exact same thing. It's like, oh my god, they look so terrible. This is the end.
they're both okay. So Avalanche are still on the East Coast because they were just in New York. They both had a day of rest today. Penguins didn't really have to play yesterday because they didn't show up. I watched Avs kind of grind it a little bit. Eh, Listen, I'm going to say this. These are both my teams. That sucks.
Here
I
is
will
the
give it this. Here's my thing. If the Penguins show up, I feel like they have a shot. I feel like if they actually show up to play, even if they lose, it would be close.
here's a way to guarantee a Penguins victory.
Change
I
their
don't
coach right now. Get a new coach. They'd win everything.
no,
Oh,
even simpler than that. I don't know who provides the food when
oh
you
gosh.
go like to the team. You give them
No.
like five pizzas, but with the cold cheese on top.
No.
They'll
Oh,
be they'll it will blow their mind. They're like,
I
what
would
is
be no. See, I was so angry. I would come out just.
you're
I would
just
be like, it would be 15-0. It could literally be me versus the
this
Avalanche.
is
If
what
you gave me the
this is
pizza
the
with the cheese,
food you
I'm
give
back.
me. This is the when we come to your town. This is the food you give me, pizza with cold cheese. Okay, that's it. We're gonna go off on
Did you hear? Were you watching the game yesterday? Did you hear the story about the Dallas Stars, and he said that how easy it was, a lot easier to get through security than
No,
like
I
the
didn't hear
previous.
that.
So the Stars, Tyler Seguin, I think it was him, whoever they played before, security stopped and was like, "You can't come in." He goes, "Well, I play for them," and they were like, "He's like, look," and he shows a picture of himself like on his phone to the security guard, and they still wouldn't let him in. I guess the coach had to come down and get him. It was kind of funny. And they laughed about it. Like he was like, "I'm just glad that, security obviously was taking their job seriously," but it was like, I think it was in San Jose or something ridiculous, but like he couldn't get through, and but they said it
That's
was easier.
that's
It was easier in
embarrassing. Excuse
Pittsburgh.
me. I play for a team.
There's like a picture of him like, hey, this is me.
There's there's a football player that got arrested for going too fast or something like that. And he's like, "Hey, I'm Chris Olave. I play for the New Orleans Saints." And the cop's like, "And
Good.
good."
I mean, that's there's one thing like, hey man, I'm Sidney Crosby. Can I please come in to your arena? Versus, hey, I was doing 150 down the highway. My name's Yarmir Yager. Which or was that Antonio Brown did it too, I think. They was flying. What are you looking for?
Oh, where do I have it? Dang it. I had a card of when the Penguins went to they got their first Stanley Cup and they visited the White House, and the president was George
HW.
old George Bush.
HW.
HW, yeah. Um and Mario Lemieux goes to President Bush and says, "Hey, Miss President Bush, here we'd like to present you with a jersey or something like that." And President Bush says, "Who are you?" Well, he actually said, "And you are?" I'm like, "Oh my God."
No,
Oh my God.
that's
You
perfect.
invited the team for a championship
Yeah, but okay,
celebration.
hold up. The There was no Texas team back in the day either. Minnesota North Stars didn't come down till what, mid 90s? Became Dallas Stars.
They actually beat the North Stars. They actually beat the Minnesota North Stars for that Stanley Cup. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
he's not a hockey fan, but and I know, but still,
You
somebody
live in
might
a
have said,
bubble, sir. You live in the
um,
Pittsburgh bubble. You live in the Pittsburgh bubble.
but if I was the president and like,
Oh,
I,
if I was the president and the Capitals came in, I'd be like, "And who are you, sir?" Straight to their face. I would just.
if I was
How
the
do you
president
know that he
and the
wasn't a Minnesota
Capitals
North Stars
and
fan?
the Capitals won the cup, I would say that Tom Wilson is a terrorist and should be,
They don't
should
touch me. They don't touch me. Stay away. No, I
um
mean,
But
in
no,
all
let's say
honesty, if I
you're
was
the
president, it'd be fine.
president and the lacrosse championship team comes for a visit to the White House.
Can't ask me this.
I'm not saying you should know every player on that lacrosse team, but you should at some point say,
Buddy,
uh, Ms. President, this person is like the captain of the team and they're gonna
we're
talk to you or
still
something.
during like the tail end of the Cold War, bud. Like we're
What?
still kind of like Gulf War's ramping up at that time. That you don't think the president has a little bit something else to do? Like I'm not trying to be a jerk, right? But like listen, right now, I'm President Wertz, right here, right? Okay. And the Diamondbacks win the World Series. And they walk up to me. I'm like, hey man, now I'm gonna pretend like I know them.
I
Hey, what's
don't
up? I
know.
won't know a person on there.
You know what? I don't know one person on the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I would be like, hey, thanks for beating Philly. Thanks for beating Philly. Thanks for beating Philly. Thanks for beating Philly.
You performed a great service for your country. You defeated the Philadelphia Phillies. I've tried as president. I have tried to nuke Philadelphia many
I
times,
would,
but
as
I'm
governor, I
always
would give them
overruled by
away.
the cabinet.
I've already discussed it. As governor, they go to New Jersey, an extra tsunami buffer just in case.
So you would,
I would
as governor of Pennsylvania,
a
you would give. Would you give them or would you trade them?
I would
I would
give them.
trade part of. Can we have Newark or can we do a trade like Newark for Philadelphia or something like that? Or no,
Isn't
I would.
Newark right there?
You see, you'd be a lousy governor. You don't just give away land.
Okay,
You
first
do
off,
it.
that is absolutely land that's not being used properly, so it doesn't matter. You want
Let's do a three-way trade with New York and take some of upstate New York because that border with New York is a little too straight. We need it to be a little funkier.
up at the top?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't want Binghamton or anything.
Yeah, trade Binghamton for Philadelphia and a city to be named later.
Is it what is this Jersey going to get Yonkers or something in this? Like, I don't
Sure,
see where Jersey's
sure.
getting anything.
Uh, you can't just give away land. You can't give away it.
I
Yeah,
can give away land.
you're
Okay,
that's a
listen,
okay.
they can have Philadelphia
Yeah,
if we can have Diggerland, USA.
Diggerland.
Yeah. I don't
Okay,
know what it is, but it
that's when
popped
it's
up on my
that's when it's
sweet.
time to stop. That's it. We're done. We're done. Thanks for coming. Go work on go work just go work on
Work
your
on my
land.
campaign.
Go work on your campaign. Okay, bye.